In this lesson, we're going to learn how we can create a vectorized version of a raster image in Inkscape by using the Trace Bitmap dialog. To get started, let's import an image by going to File, Import. And for this video, I'm going to import this image of a black cat. This is a free image I found on pixabay.com, and I provided the link to it in the description below. So if you would like to follow along, go ahead and pause the video now and download the image. You can also use a different image if you want, but be aware that this works best with images that have high contrast. We can now double-click the image, then click OK in this dialog. Alright, now let's open the Trace Bitmap dialog by going to Path, Trace Bitmap. In the Trace Bitmap dialog, we have three tabs: Trace Bitmap, which is for tracing most types of images; Pixel Art, which is of course for tracing pixel art; and Help, where we can read about how the dialog works. For our current image, we want to use the Trace Bitmap tab. The first option we have in the Trace Bitmap tab is whether we want to do a single scan or multiple scans. Single scan will create just a single path, and multiple scans will create a group of paths. Multiple scans gives us more detailed tracings, and we'll talk about it soon, but for now let's stick with single scan. Next we have this box of options for the modes of tracing we want to perform. Let's keep it on brightness cutoff for the moment. What brightness cutoff does is it will detect areas that are darker than this brightness threshold value here, and it will create a path that encloses those areas. We can go ahead and click this update button down here to see what the result will look like. And if nothing is showing up here for you, make sure you have the image selected. Okay, so this is the result with the default brightness threshold. We can try different values and see what it gives us. With a higher threshold, we get more of the background in the tracing. And a lower threshold does the opposite. We can also invert the tracing, which will give us a tracing of the background with the cat cut out. And if we like the result, we can click the Apply button down here. And now we have this tracing, which is all one big path. Alright, we can go ahead and delete this and select the image again. Let's click this Revert button to reset everything. Okay, now let's try out some of the other tracing modes we have. The second option, Edge Detection, will basically attempt to create a line art tracing of the image. Decreasing the edge threshold value here will give us more detail. And inverting the image will give us a black background with white line art, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's delete this, select the image again, and click Revert. Next we have Color Quantization. This will separate the image into the number of colors we put in this colors box. 64 is the default and the maximum, and here's the result. We get less and less detail as we decrease the colors value. Okay, let's reset everything. The next mode is Auto Trace. These first three modes use an algorithm called ProTrace, and the last two modes use the Auto Trace algorithm. The first one, Auto Trace, gives us a result that is similar to the brightness cutoff mode. However, with the two modes that use the Auto Trace algorithm, we can't get a preview, so we have to click Apply to see the result. Okay, so here's the result with the default settings. We can change these two settings here to see what they give us. It doesn't seem like there's much of a difference with changing these though. Okay, and the final mode for single scan is Centerline Tracing. This one will attempt to create line art around the objects in the image, but it doesn't seem to work very well with this image. We also have these three options down here, which actually apply to single scan and multiple scans. Speckles will ignore small spots or speckles in the image. Smooth corners will try to smoothen any sharp corners that the image has. And Optimize will join adjacent Bezier curve segments together to try to optimize the resulting path and create fewer nodes. I tried changing these options for this image, but the differences were very subtle. I encourage you to try them out with various images and see what they give you. But for now, let's switch over to multiple scans. Multiple scans will scan the image the number of times we put in the scans box, and will create a path for each of those scans, then group them together. Because of this, it's quite a bit slower than single scan. And like with single scan, we have a few different tracing modes to choose from. The first one, Brightness Steps, will separate the image into different brightness levels. Let's click Apply and give it a few seconds. Here's the result. This is actually a group of 8 paths, so we can double click it to enter the group and get to the individual paths. Next is colors. With this mode, we can actually get some of the colors in the tracing. This image doesn't have much color, but we can see a bit of the brown in the shadow here. The next mode is grays, which will give us a grayscale version of the image. The final mode is auto trace. This uses the auto trace algorithm and is very slow. I've actually had problems with it causing Inkscape to crash in the past, so I won't try it here. I'll put it back on grays. With multiple scans, we also get these three options here. Smooth will apply a Gaussian blur to the image before tracing, giving us a smoother looking result. I've only noticed a very subtle difference in the results when turning this off. When stack here is enabled, as it is by default, the path created by each scan will actually contain the areas of all the paths created by the previous scans. We can see this if we enter the group and move the paths off each other. As we get closer to the back, the paths take up more and more area. This helps to prevent transparent gaps from appearing in the tracing. If we turn stack off, however, we can see that the tracing has parts that are slightly transparent. I'll turn stack back on. The last option, remove background, will remove the bottommost path in a group of paths. This is really only useful if we are using an image with a single color as the background. The final thing we're going to talk about in this lesson is this SIOX checkbox here next to Update. This will let us try to vectorize only a specific object in the image. To do this, first we have to switch to the Pen tool and create a path around the object we want to vectorize. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Next, we have to give the path a fill color, then select the path and the image. And for this, we can choose any mode in either single scan or multiple scans. I'll choose colors. Now let's check SIOX and click Apply. Now if we move the path out of the way, we can see that we have a vectorized version of just the cat. And this actually added a white background. So what we can do is, we can undo all of that, select the image and path again, check Remove Background here, then click Apply. And now we have the cat without the background added. Okay, and that pretty much does it for tracing bitmaps. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I will see you in the next one.